All right.
And here
How
we
we
go.
doing?
Retards and Cars, episode 1, officially.
Yeah.
So, my man is going to tell you what is on the agenda while I back the fuck out of you.
I'll tell you what's on the agenda. Let me pull up the agenda real quick. On the agenda today, we're gonna be talking about some fast food to start off with.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, we just got out of Wendy's.
All right.
Pretty good, honestly. Got a good 4 for 4 deal. Nice and cheap, a lot of food. I'm satisfied. You satisfied?
I'm full as fuck, homie.
Sick.
Yeah.
Aye.
All right, so what do you think is the best fast food restaurant? Like,
Okay.
overall.
That's a good question because it brings up another question. How do you define fast food? Is fast food defined by the speed or by the quality?
Oh, fuck. I always defined it by the restaurant.
Yeah, that's so like the quality, right? Like if it's a burger place, it's probably fast food.
Well, like, I don't think that's true. Cause like there are, like, Capone's. They serve hella good burgers.
I don't know if they're fast food though.
And they're not. That's the thing. They serve,
Right.
It's hella good, but it's not fast food.
Yeah.
But like Wendy's, it's good, but it's not as good as Capone's.
Yeah, that's for sure. So, fast food.
Maybe, I guess it is defined by quality and speed.
Yeah, quality and speed. So like Subway wouldn't be fast food because it's fast, but it's also high quality food.
Yeah, but it's like a spectrum.
It's a spectrum.
Yeah.
So, fast food, I think. That's an interesting. Jack in the Box is pretty good. We had Jack in the Box the other day.
And it's hella fast.
Yeah, and it's hella fast. Big fast and big good.
Maybe there's a third variable we're missing.
That's
and
quite possible.
It's the health of the food. Like how healthy it is for you.
Okay.
Because fast food tends to be greasy, unhealthy, quick to cook, fast to get out.
And low quality. Yeah.
And low quality, yeah.
Okay. So, I think Jack in the Box, places like Jack in the Box, barely fit into that, I would say. Like they're on the edge of being not fast food. Would you say that?
Yeah.
Okay. Which would imply that they're one of the better ones.
Speaking of, there it is right there.
Yeah, there's Jack in the Box. What other restaurants do we have? We have McDonald's, of course.
And that is,
always think of.
that's fast food.
It's hella fast, yeah. And it's cheap. That's the fourth variable. Price.
Yeah, you're right.
So McDonald's is, I think without a doubt the cheapest.
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely something that's important to consider.
Also, the least healthy, perhaps?
Yeah. So the cheapest, the least healthy, quality is generally low. I mean, you get the occasional really good McDonald's burger, but it's generally, the average burger is not good.
Yeah, that's true. Definitely.
And then, it's fast. So, I would say, in speed, it ranks high.
Everything else, pretty low, except cheap.
Price, it ranks high because high is always better. And McDonald's is the cheapest. So it's high in price, high
isn't that
in speed.
low in price?
Well, high in the price category because it's easier if higher is better. So it's got high performance in price and speed, but it's not as good with quality and health.
Yes.
Which are definitely important factors.
I'd straw for my drink is right in there. now my drink is right in there. Now my straw's right in there. Okay. Okay. There we go. We're good.
Okay. So we've got a KFC right here.
All right.
KFC.
It's not fast.
It's not. No, it's not fast.
Very unhealthy.
Yeah.
Very unhealthy. It's pretty.
I mean, it's fried chicken, like, you know.
Yeah.
So low in health, low in speed.
It's expensive.
It is pretty expensive.
It's pretty
right
pricey.
There. But is it good?
Yes.
It's good quality?
Have you been to
eaten it in a
KFC?
while. Maybe like once or twice, yeah.
I went there when I was on my way to Boise.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's good quality. Other than that, it ranks low in everything. Which, you know, quality is important, but you also, you know, you're on a budget if you exist. So that's an important thing to consider. So KFC, I think, is kind of out of there. Pizza Hut. No. I meant to say Taco Bell.
Okay.
That's my bad. Okay. Crunchwrap Supreme, phenomenal.
Awesome.
It's also very cheap.
Definitely. Yeah, it's like less than $5.
Yeah, so Taco Bell is cheap. It's pretty good, especially considering the price. And it's fast. Not very healthy.
No.
I don't think any fast food restaurant that we choose is going to be healthy. Because it's kind of it defines fast food as the lack of health. Where are we going?
We're just driving.
Okay, cool.
I know where we're going. We're just driving around. We got a full tank of gas.
We got a full
this
tank
bitch.
of gas. It's definitely full.
Yeah, we made it overflow a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was smooth.
That was awesome. Yeah.
Smooth, yeah.
We had to make sure it was good. It's full. It's definitely
It's full.
fucking full.
We have plenty of gas.
Yeah. For sure. Anyway, we were at Taco Bell. Nowhere's going to be healthy. That's a trademark for food, fast food.
Yeah. Del Taco.
It's similar
to
Taco Bell. I think it's almost too similar to Taco Bell to be much different.
That's true. Yeah. Although they don't have crunch wraps, so that'll dock you points.
Oh, so they're worse.
They're
worse.
I mean, they're basically like Taco Bell, but not as good. Because they don't have crunch wraps.
You're right.
Burger King is a burger place.
Yeah.
They do have the Whopper. That's the unique thing. I think most burger places have the unique thing. You know, like
McDonald's, Big Mac.
Baconator for Wendy's.
That is actually really good. No, I almost want to go back to Wendy's again.
Doesn't
I think Taco Bell right now is really hanging on its crunch wrap.
Yeah.
They just came out with a breakfast crunch wrap.
Yeah, I want to try that sometime. That sounds good.
It's just filled with fucking nacho cheese.
Yeah, nacho cheese and eggs and stuff.
It's like not even remotely good for you. Not even a good it's like a lunch item, but for breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not the point, you know? The point is...
It says breakfast?
Yeah, the point is it says breakfast on it, so it's breakfast. But, also it's not, supposed to be healthy, it's just supposed to be hella good.
You're right.
And hopefully it meets that standard. We'll have to try it.
Because the Crunchwrap Supreme meets that standard, for sure.
It does.
Oh, yeah.
Love the Crunchwrap Supreme.
Mm-hmm. What time is it right now?
It's like 6:45. Yeah.
Oh, cool. We got that's David. That is David on your phone.
David's my lock screen. That's true.
Nice. Okay. It's good stuff.
So, Burger King isn't bad, but I would say it's kind of unremarkable.
Yeah.
Like the Whopper's, it's Big Burger, that's cool, but it's not.
I've never had anything good there.
Yeah. And I don't think Burger King is really, there's nowhere where it really stands out. It's got a cool name, I guess.
Yeah. What about Zips?
Zips. Oh, that's a good one. I gotta say, the shakes are awesome at Zips. Last time I had a Zips shake, it was great.
Yeah, I got a huckleberry pie shake with Dodge and David when we went to go paint his RV.
Okay.
That shit, dude, I basically came in my pants. Not even gonna lie, like it was everywhere. I busted like 4 nuts. Easily.
Quick succession.
Yeah.
Full auto.
Should we turn right into this park?
Dude.
We're gonna turn into this dark park.
Let's go into this dark park at night. This is great.
Nope, that's not ominous at all. It's just one car.
Also, it's closed.
Yeah.
So we should
probably turn around.
Yeah. This is actually a bit spooky. It is October. Yeah, this is a bit spooky. Nothing like.
There's just like some one lone dude chilling on that.
That would
bench.
be whack.
Like shit your pants.
Careful.
Yeah, I know. I just didn't want to take the time to do a 3-point turnaround.
Oh.
I wanted to get the fuck out of there.
All right. So where were we? We were at Zips. I've had a banana shake at Zips. It's great. They got good shakes. The burgers are so-so.
So-so?
I would say on par with McDonald's.
I would not say that.
Okay.
No. Dodge and I and David went there when we got our shakes. And I know that like 2 years ago they were shitty because like every time I'd go in there from the time I was like a little dude up until obviously 2 years ago, they were always shitty. And the past 2 years they've been pretty good. I forgot what I got. I got a double bacon cheeseburger type thing, and it was really good. And Dodge always gets 2 Papa Joe's maybe. I don't know. It's good. It's good. All right. Speaking of Zips, on that same trip, David was full before he finished his burger. So, being great friends, Dodge and I forced him to eat his burger. We wouldn't even start the car or leave the table until he finished his burger. Then we bought him a shake and made him drink the shake.
Poor David.
He about puked 4 times.
Damn. He has a great friends.
Yeah, we just had to make sure he was fed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just, letting you know. I keep thinking my sunglasses are on my head. I'm like feeling for them. They're not there. Why don't we do a wheelie? Fuck, not a wheelie. A donut in this parking lot.
Yeah, let's do a donut and just keep talking like we're not doing it.
In my all-wheel drive car, let's do some donuts.
Yeah.
And pull that emergency brake and just pedal to the metal.
That sounds lit.
Floor this bitch.
Ooh. Speaking of donuts, Dunkin' Donuts.
Not fast food.
Not fast food, but good spot.
It is good food.
Yeah.
Trying to think of any experience I've ever had in Dunkin' Donuts that was like remotely memorable. Because every time I've gone in there, it's just been dead ass silent, and you're like,
it is quiet.
Hey, and they're like, what do you want? You're like, here for donuts. And they're like, what do you want? What do you got? Like, I don't remember there being a menu. It was just like, this is what we cooked today. Yeah. And you get to look at it and pick out what you want.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. I went there with my sister.
What's that?
A while ago. I went there with my sister a while ago.
Okay.
And it was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't, memorable with the donuts, but like it was a good spot. Okay. So, Zips. Paul Bunyan.
I feel like that's very familiar to locals or area and not so much anywhere else. But Paul Bunyan is very good.
Paul Bunyan is very good.
I love Paul Bunyan.
They have good shakes.
I'm not gonna lie. That guy blew a stop sign.
Yeah.
nice, and he wasn't going the speed limit, and now he is double nice.
Big nice.
Actually, he's still not going the speed limit. Never mind. Yeah, Paul Bunyan is good. I don't know if there's like actually like anybody, because like our first video got a lot of views and they might have all been locals. I don't know. But like when I also looked at the analytics, it was like only 85% of the views were from America and the rest of them were from Europe and other places.
What?
Yeah.
That's
weird as shit.
Yeah, that's weird.
But
I mean, that's cool, but like,
yeah,
it's odd.
If you're not a local to North Idaho, then we have 2 restaurants that are very similar to each other in nature and in what they serve. Paul Bunyan and Rogers.
Yeah.
I personally think Paul Bunyan is the greater of the 2.
For sure.
Definitely.
Although Rogers has some pretty good ice cream, I'd say.
Yeah. I think Rogers beats Paul Bunyan only in ice cream, though.
Yeah.
Like everything else from Rogers is pretty shit. I'm not gonna lie. I worked at Rogers and I hated it. Fries are normally hella greasy. Oh, hey.
Big boy.
This guy wants to go.
Motorman.
I think anyone in a car is a motorman.
He's on a motorcycle, though.
He's a I can't say motorcycle, it's cycle motor man.
Cycle motorman.
The man of the cycle motor. I don't know. I have no fucking
Balance motorman.
Okay. What were we talking about?
Helmet boy.
Oh yeah, we were talking about
Rogers.
Rogers and Paul Bunyan.
Rogers and Paul
Okay.
Bunyan. They are very similar. They're burger places, by the way.
Yeah. Burger places.
Yeah.
I was the burger boy. I yelled at some cunt because she was being annoying. Because she kept being like, "Where's my shake?" And I fucking threw my burger on the ground. I'm like, I'm the burger boy. And then I had to remake the burger and pay for it.
Ooh.
Yeah. It was a bit of a scene, but it's whatever. People stopped fucking with me for the day, so it's cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, Paul Bunyan has way better burgers and fries.
Yeah.
And I think to an extent they have better shakes.
Yeah.
And they have better out times. When you
Very
order
true.
when you order your food, you're not there waiting for 20 minutes. And it is fast food. There's no way around it. Like Paul Bunyan is super good. Rogers takes way too fucking long for their shitty ass food to be worth the wait. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they advertise at Rogers constantly. 5-minute out times. You gotta get your shit out in 5 minutes. It's like, I can't get out 20 burgers in 5 minutes. Like one time we had a, I don't know if I've told you this enough. I have. You should let me know. But we had a drive-through order that actually had 20 burgers. Yeah.
Jesus.
And it was like 22 or something like that. But we were freaking out because that one came in, and then right after that, a shitload more orders came in, and Evan came out, and he's like, "What's your drive-through time at?" And everyone's like, 15 minutes. And he's freaking out, and he was saying he was gonna like fire people if we didn't get it out on time. I mean, within the next 5 minutes. And we were all like, "Are you fucking joking right now?" This guy orders 20 some odd burgers, and then, you know, gets 2 separate large fries on top of all the regular fries that come with the combos, and some shakes that like the cooks can't control because we're cooks and not cashiers. Cashiers took over ice cream, and it's like, you're gonna fire cooks because you can't get the fucking order out of 20 some odd burgers in 5 minutes.
Fire the guy.
Fire
the guy that ordered. Whatever job he has, just fire him.
You open up the drive-thru window, by the way, your manager called, you're fired. It's like he owns a business, and it's just, he's like, "Oh, I guess I'm done now."
He just accepts it.
Yeah.
Like he's like, "Okay, I guess
I'll go find a new job.
Yeah, find a new job.
Yeah. Fucking hate Rogers, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I ordered fries there when I got my last paycheck. I ordered a burger and with like a combo or whatever. And I got my fries. And like everyone there before I quit except Evan liked me. It's just like when I ordered my food and I got my fries, everything was fine except the fries, which was they were all stuck together. You were there for it because we were at D&D. They were all stuck together, and it was like a half-gallon carton of grease.
Ooh, that's not great.
Half pound, not half gallon. It was super gross.
Yeah, that's. Ugh.
Yeah, I was not happy, but like not surprised at the same time because that's just how it goes. Because we only had one person there that actually knew how to cook the fries, and they quit too because they hate Evan just like me.
Right.
Yeah. That's the reason I quit was because of Evan, and like I didn't tell him that. Just put my 2 weeks in. That's also why the entire crew that worked there before I worked there quit. Everyone quit because they hated Evan. The entire crew, like on the same day, and walked out.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And it was because of Evan.
That's rough.
Yeah, except Lily, who was my manager, because she had only been working there for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then Evan was like, "So do you want a promotion?" And she took it. It was a $1 raise.
Oh, nice. Actually, that's pretty good.
From $8.50.
That's pretty good.
It was $9.50 per hour, but like you got all the responsibilities of a crew member, plus responsibilities of the assistant manager.
Oh.
So like you're doing the cook's job, you have to babysit basically the crew constantly. Almost no one likes you because you have to babysit the crew constantly, and you have to take up like the responsibilities and jobs that the managers don't want to do. So you should probably be getting paid like maybe $11.50 for it, because the managers there, like Evan, are getting paid fucking $20 an hour to to do nothing. You know what I mean? So it's not really fair to Lily that she's not getting paid enough. But she threatened to quit on them like 1,000,000 times since I was there, and she just keeps getting raises. So she's probably getting up there right now. She might be making more than Evan.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Make more than your manager.
Well, I mean, and they get tips.
And tips, yeah.
Yeah. Managers don't get tips because they're cunts.
Right.
Okay, maybe it's not because they're managers. It's because Evan's a cunt, and that's why I'd like to believe he doesn't get tips.
Because he specifically
is a
doesn't get
cunt.
tips because
He is a dirty cunt, and his mom's a whore.
Just roasted him. If he watches this, he'll cry.
Cry baby. Cry baby.
Sissy Lala.
Cry baby bitch man.
Beach man.
Yeah.
Little baby boy.
Okay. We've been talking about fast food for a while.
Yeah, I've been talking about fast food for a while.
And we also talked about my job for a while, so you should talk about what experiences do you have at your job at Super One?
That's a good question. I like my managers. Most of them are pretty cool. A couple of them are
Dicks.
No, none of them are dicks. I like all of them. A couple of them are just kind of weird.
Like ornery, kind of?
Like awkward. Like kind of awkward people.
I can see that. You work at a Super.
I do. I work at Super One. For those of you who don't know, it's a local place. It's a local grocery store.
Is it local?
It is. Well, to North Idaho, yeah. They have one in Hayden.
I thought they had them in like Montana even.
Well, they might, but not across the whole U.S.
Okay.
So yeah.
Maybe like Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
Local.
Probably
just kind of. I don't know. You would know more than I do. I don't know.
I have
you
no
work
idea.
there.
But I do. I work there now. I'm on Saturdays stocking shelves because I'm in school.
That's fun.
Yeah.
You only work Saturdays?
Yeah, only Saturday nights.
That's like the worst day to work.
Yeah, well, it's all right.
I mean, it's alright.
Well, my shifts always go until 10, so it's like I don't want to be up that late on a school night, you know. So it's like Friday, I don't want to make it there right after school because it starts at 4, and also I like playing D&D with the boys. So it's like,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I stock shelves at 4 to 10 in Super 1. And I used to be a bagger. I didn't always stock. I used to be a bagger. And there were some pretty interesting stories. There was one lady that, an older woman that came in, and she bought, I think, 7 gallons of milk and the same number of boxes of Cheerios.
Not like normal boxes, were they the big boy boxes?
They were. I think they were big boy boxes. Yeah. So like 7 big boxes of Cheerios, 7 gallons of milk, and unless she was planning to make a massive bowl of cereal, there's no way that you can drink that much milk before it spoils as one person. Unless that's all
This is what I feed my cats.
She might just feed her cats bowls of cereal all the time and just have a lot of cats. That's plausible. She was older and she bought a bunch of milk.
Big old lady time.
Bathtub?
Big old lady time.
Cereal bath?
Oh, you were asking me a question. Oh, I was like, how did you get bathtub out of big old lady time? I mean, I guess you could take a bath of cereal. That'd be kind of whack, but yeah, I mean, yeah. I guess so.
Like, we're not judging. If you take baths and bowls of cereal, that's fine.
That's cool, dude.
You're just a little weird, you know. Just no judgment.
A little strange.
Just a little odd.
Yeah.
Just a little different, you know. Also, if she was gonna take a bath, that was not nearly enough milk. It'd be a shallow ass bath.
Oh, this is only 7 gallons.
7 gallons, yeah.
That's not bad.
It'd be a shallow bath.
I'm turning left, not going straight.
But like, I mean,
oh fuck.
God only knows what she did with that milk, you know. Like, we can only
actually, she knows. But
she knows
that milk, and God knows.
That's debatable.
Actually,
she might not. Someone who's willing to buy 7 gallons of milk might not remember what they do with it. She might have gotten drunk on the milk and just blacked out. What if that happened? If she blacked out on milk?
Well, it would be possible to get drunk on.
Yo, what if
milk. Because you can get water drunk.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you can die from water.
Yeah. Yeah. You can die from anything.
Yeah.
Just imagine drowning in fucking milk. Your cereal bath. You just fucking drown.
You eat shit. You like slip and get knocked out, and you just fucking die. They find your body and you're wrinkly with milk.
Oh. That's disgusting.
God, that's awful. That's awful.
That's not a pretty image in my head.
No, it's not.
I don't like that.
Dead in a bathtub of cereal.
Yeah. You got any other?
I don't have any other stories, but I came up with an idea. Okay.
Oh, okay.
What if you showed up to the club, right? And obviously we've never been to clubs because we're minors. But what if you showed up to a club wearing a backpack full of milk?
And you wore fake nipples and just sprayed it on people.
Yeah, that'd be sick, right?
It would. Yep, that would actually be disgusting.
It'd be sick in the literal sense.
Yeah.
It'd be horrible. It'd be awful. But it'd also be like if you didn't get sprayed, it'd be fucking hilarious. You know, just seeing someone come in and start spraying people with milk.
Check out my titties. Yeah, people get sprayed with milk.
Spray the DJ. You know how, like, if you put liquids on speakers, they, like, bounce the liquids?
Yeah.
You do that with the big speakers at the club, and make it just a better party. You
that would be
a party but with more milk.
That would be disgusting. So, what else do we have on the agenda?
What else do we have? Well,
we talked about fast food.
Yeah.
Why don't we talk about our D&D session?
We can talk about D&D.
It'll probably be shorter than half an hour of fast food.
Yeah. So, D&D. Here's our plan going forward right now. We're planning to continue Steven's game until it finishes up. It wraps up like the story. So maybe a couple months or more. And then we'll move on to somebody else's game, maybe mine, maybe Dodge's. But that just makes the most sense to have the whole series in a row rather than splitting it up between Dungeon Masters every week.
Yeah.
So that's our plan. Steven, what are you thinking for the tone of your game? Because the last session was real spooky.
It was real spooky.
Yeah.
It was all improv.
It was.
It was mostly improv.
Mostly improv, spooky. It was good. Is that? Can we expect that from the rest of the game?
Hopefully you can expect it to be good.
All right.
I don't know if it'll be mostly improv.
That's fair.
Because
get tiring.
It's not that it gets tiring. It's that it's like sometimes there's certain things that you really need to have happen to drive where you want the story to go.
Yeah, that's very true.
And sometimes it's harder to come up with it on the spot than it is to, just have it planned out.
Yeah.
Because when I used to plan, it was like I'd plan dialogue, and that doesn't work. It does work. It works to a certain extent, but you also have to know what the guys are gonna say off the top of your head for it to really work out.
Yeah. That wasn't like the tree idea of the different choices we could make, kind of giving us, the illusion of choice, so we can go this way or that way, but regardless, we're gonna end up where you want us to.
Yeah.
That's a good idea, but I think scripted dialogue is not as great. Like you can script descriptions for rooms and descriptions for items and encounters and stuff, but I think dialogue is different because it's a lot more dynamic.
Yeah, dialogue is you can't script it. It's too hard.
Yeah. I mean, in video games it's clunky.
Yeah.
Because you have to script the player's dialogue as well, and that kind of takes away from the role-playing aspect of D&D.
Yeah. Skyrim did a really good job of that.
Yeah, Skyrim was good.
They just kept it short and sweet whenever your character did talk and there was no voice for it.
Yeah. And there were still lots of choices.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's a good way of planning. You want to talk at all about how you plan out your sessions? When you do?
Oh, yeah, when I do plan out my sessions, I'm not like a professional dungeon master or anything by any means, obviously. But when I plan out my sessions, I know that players tend to be... Is that a deer? No, that's just a really old dog. Players always tend to be, especially our group, too unpredictable. Because our group tends to have players who want to be individuals rather than a group,
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to, I guess. Oh, they're turning down this road.
Yeah,
that would have been nice for a signal.
It's tough, for sure, to...
Especially, Dodge's characters are always chaos. And I used to really like playing with characters, and then when I started DMing, it was like, oh, that's what I do to people?
Yeah, it's a pain.
And then I did it again, one more time, maybe two, I don't remember, because we did have some throwaway games. I did it a few more times, and I was like, nah, this isn't fun for DMs to DM.
Yeah. I mean, when you DM, and this should be made clear before you start, but I imagine, especially if you put a lot of work into it, you're expecting, an enriching, deep story. And when people are only screwing around and only making jokes, then it's not as much fun. And you kind of get disappointed. And I think the people at the table that did want a deep story and didn't want to just fuck around, they also are upset.
Yes.
Because, it's usually only fun for the person that's doing it.
Yeah.
It's like, if you want to mess around, let's not play in D&D. Let's just mess around.
Yeah.
Because we can do that anytime. So, yeah. What system do you use for, writing stuff down?
I'll get out a sheet of paper when I'm watching TV or YouTube or whatever, or if I'm just chilling. And
Okay.
if an idea comes to mind, I'll write it down on paper, just the basics of it, not go into detail while I'm chilling.
Gotcha.
So I'll write it down, and then if I ever feel like putting time into any of the ideas I write down, I'll get out a separate sheet. I'll go into a bit more detail, but I won't go into too much detail, because like you said, if you put too much time and thought into something and then it turns out no one wants to pay attention to it, then it's it's disappointing for the DM to be like, oh, really? I put all this time and effort into making something super cool and no one wants to pay attention to it?
Yeah.
And so I don't ever do that. It's fun to try and, I guess, improv the idea as you're, going through the motions of DMing. Because, you gotta look through your notes as you're DMing a lot to be able to, guide the players where you want them to go as you're improving. But, for the most part, I think it's more fun than, trying to memorize a scripted path for your dudes.
Yeah. So, you build a skeleton and then you improvise all of the details?
Yeah. Just basic ideas, and then if it's a skeleton, then I guess you, put the rest of the body, the circulatory system, the respiratory system, all that in separately as you're going, you know?
That makes sense. I'd say that's a good system. It's better than what I've done, because usually what I end up doing is nothing.
Well, it's easy to just write down the idea when you're chilling, when you're not doing anything.
Just if an idea comes to your head, just pop it down and elaborate on it later. Give it some time to stew.
Yeah,
I feel that. Yeah. And don't be afraid to throw out ideas if they're crap. If you look at them later and you're like, this wasn't that good.
Yeah, I like to keep my ideas that I thought were crap, and I don't like how all of these are not controlled intersections. It kind of sucks. I don't like to throw out ideas because I feel like it's entirely possible that later in the story you could tie that in somewhere.
That's true.
And it could just be a side quest. A lot of the things, I think it's fun to have more side quests than it is to have a super intense linear story path.
Yeah. I think the key word there is linear, because you can have a really deep storyline that the players are very involved in as long as they get to make their own decisions,
Yeah. When I was planning the Oakland story thing, that's what I did. I put way too much emphasis on the dialogue and what happens within the city, because at the time I didn't realize that it's just easier to improv dialogue and all that. But with the Oakland thing is I planned out what I would tell you guys about each of the locations when we actually finished the campaign. Because if they were important locations anyway, if your character or you as a player were connected to somewhere and you had a good time at said location, you might want to know what happens after the campaign is over. Yeah. So it's kind of like an epilogue to what happened, which kind of sucks that I didn't do Oaklade's story, and I might do it with this one. But I thought it was a good idea. It is for sure. I thought it was a really cool concept to play around with for a bit.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll get back to it. I mean, we're in high school and we're probably gonna hang out after that. So
Yeah.
We'll get to it.
We have a lot of time.
Eventually. Yeah, we got plenty of time. We're kids.
Yeah.
All right.
Do not enter.
Do you put any thought into like the characterization of your NPCs, or is that something else that you just kind of improvise?
It depends.
Okay.
Because if they're pivotal or important in any way, it kind of changes how much thought I put into what their character is.
Gotcha.
So, like, if it's just some dude that's going to point you in some odd direction, I'll use a name from the random name sheet, and I'll just be like, this dude, if you ask for his name, Randolph Pinkerton, is telling you that he saw the robbers go north or some shit. But, like, if it's some dude who's going to tell you that there's a hideout at said location and he knows where the leader of that gang is located in this location and he wants to go with you, then, like, I put a whole lot more time into that.
Right.
Than I would just some random person. Mm-hmm. And, any of the in-betweens, those are both super opposite examples. But any of the in-between is where I would go with that.
Yeah. And if it's, like, someone really important that the players might interact with over and over, like a political
like a
leader
quartermaster.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Then you flesh them out a bit more.
Yeah.
That makes sense. All right. Anything else?
What do you have planned for, like, where you wanted to take your story with your session? Because I don't even, like, remember the last session because they're so spaced out.
So basically what happened in my last session was everybody came together at a portal. Dodge plays an American soldier who got teleported from Nazi Germany to the world of D&D. Seth was an alchemist, a medieval alchemist, but he won't be playing anymore, unfortunately. So
no, that character creation was actually pretty dope, too.
Yeah, that was dope. That was definitely cool.
Because normally from Seth you don't
expect something that interesting.
Get that? No.
I think I'm gonna make that character an NPC and keep him in the story.
Here's
because I mean, like, someone from another existence teleports through. That's not something you just write off,
Yeah.
Yeah. So as far as future plans, I don't want to spoil it because that's the plan. That's the campaign I still want to go with. But I have thought about where I want to take it, and I want it to have, a deep, engaging plot line and some comedy. So, like, I want to have as many different elements as I can. So, like, mystery and puzzles and horror and action and everything that I can. It's gonna take a lot of work, but I'm hoping to get a good campaign going.
Don't plan on our players doing something in particular.
Yeah.
Definitely don't do that. I learned very quickly from my first campaign that it doesn't fucking work with our group, and I tried it twice and it doesn't fucking work.
Yeah. It's like, do you want to go right or left? I don't want to be followed. Yeah. So I cut through the brush. Yeah. You can discern where the bar is. Okay. I walk through the house to the bar. It's like, all right,
Yeah.
And there's no way to anticipate that.
Yeah. And then you have to, like, try and figure something out on the spot for some sort of repercussion for walking through many houses.
Yeah. By the way,
when not using the door.
Yeah.
And then he just fucking walks straight through the wall instead of using the door.
When we say walking through houses, we mean, like, literally busting through the walls of the house instead of using the doors.
And after all was said and done, he was upset because he dented his helmet. That's why Seth was upset. Because he dented his fucking helmet.
D&D is great. we have a great time.
Yeah. I think through October it'll be fun to have spooky season.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
A vibe. I'm
looking forward to it. I love horror in D&D and video games. It's really interesting and, you know, it gets you going.
Yeah.
Last session was...
I thought that, I did a fairly well job of... Because in D&D, you can't have jump scares.
Right.
You can't. You have to use... kind of slow, descriptive, atmospheric kind of descriptions to instill that feeling in people. So
it's more terror and less
oh shit,
action.
That just popped out and now it's gone.
Yeah. But you can also do that. You can be like, you're walking through the hallway and something runs across in front of you.
But it's not the same.
It's not the same as like if it were in a video game or a movie and you can see it. You know?
Yeah. Because
if you want to do that, you got to kind of build the horror beforehand.
Yeah. The sense of sight is just gone in D&D.
Yeah.
So you have to rely on every other sense descriptions to, you know, really figure out and like give players the feeling of something is not good here.
Yeah. And that's another important detail is when you're describing something, you should use at least two senses. So, like, you know, what does it smell like? What does it feel like? Is the air cold? Is the air hot? You know, things like that can really add a lot of depth to descriptions.
Yeah.
What else do we got? So,
oh, by the way, if you're watching this podcast at this point right now, 47 minutes in, you should totally give our D&D podcast sessions a look.
Yeah.
Because I want to try and keep it interesting for the next few sessions, especially through October.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you're making it spooky, it also makes your players pay more attention. So like, what's gonna happen next? That's what I was thinking of. You want to give the players a feeling of suspense. Keep them in a state of wanting to know what happens next.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to think of, but I couldn't get the word.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Suspense is a very important thing.
Okay. Anyway, what's next on the agenda?
Well.
Also, what time is it?
It's 7:20 something. So yeah, we should probably get going.
Okay.
Back to Post Falls. We're in Coeur d'Alene right now, by the way. So let's talk about...
The gas is still capped off, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. We overflowed gas.
Yeah.
As we said.
What do we got? Forgot.
Okay, so off the topic of D&D, we're gonna kind of organize this into different sections. Let's talk about trading things up. So you don't know what that is? Okay. Have you heard the story of the guy that traded a paperclip for a house?
Are you talking about barter?
Sort of. Yeah. It's like you take an item and you trade it for something of like slightly higher value to you, and then you keep doing that until you have something of great value to everyone, like a house or a car.
Oh, I see. Okay. Because I didn't understand what you meant by trading things up in Wendy's. I was like,
okay, yeah, I mentioned it too when we were eating.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah. So in this story, the guy starts with a paperclip. He trades it for a pen, and then he trades the pen for like a cooler pen, and he keeps moving up until he has like tickets for I can't remember what band, but for a concert, and then he trades those tickets for a house, a cheap house, and he has like a party there. And so I think it's an interesting concept of, you know, it's a better way, it's definitely a better way to get stuff than working for an eternity to pay for it, you know?
Yeah.
I would much rather trade until I got trade from a paperclip to a house than just work and pay for the house, you know?
Yeah.
Because then you get to keep the money and the house.
Yeah, that's very true.
So, yeah,
did you just see that guy's blinker? He flashed it one time and then went off. Nice. Okay.
Smooth. That guy knows how to drive. Just
for sure.
At it.
This is probably the smoothest I've ever driven with any of the boys in the car. By far. For sure.
It's been pretty smooth.
Yeah.
It's been pretty smooth, right?
Actually, I don't think we've had like any fuck ups this time, so that's great.
Yeah, that was pretty great, yeah. Alright.
Let's not jinx it. Fuck, I swear to God if I jinx it. Jesus Christ.
That's all I had to say about trading up. I just wanted to mention it. So I thought it was
it's a cool
idea.
Concept, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
We'll have to try it sometime. And that's it. That's all we got.
Is that all we have planned?
Yeah.
Really?
We talked about fast food, we talked about D&D, and we mentioned trading up.
I thought there was another... Was there really nothing else amazing?
There was... no.
Huh.
Not on my list. There might have been something else that we talked about, but on the list that I have, there was something else.
Oh, that's strange. Are we going to end the podcast, or are we going to wing it?
Let's wing it, because we haven't done a callback yet. So let's talk about that video that you made, because I mean, in case you haven't seen it, Steven made a video about his science project. Do you want to say anything about that?
Yeah. All right. So, story time. I had 2 weeks to do my my chemistry project. The assignment was basically tell the teacher about the chemical reactions in cake. Like what chemical changes does a cake go through as you're baking it from whatever the fuck it starts out with to cake. And I say that because I had 2 weeks to research it, put a thing together, and I did it on the last day and finished the project in 10 minutes. And I got 100, just in case you're wondering. Pretty stoked with some extra credit, because it was absolutely hilarious. But basically, I bought all the stuff for a cake, threw it into my stove, threw some eggs at the stove, closed it, pulled out a cake with plastic packaging, and I ate it. So if it sounds like a good thing to you, the whole time I was wearing sunglasses and was saying stupid shit.
It was hella funny.
Yeah, the whole time I was wearing sunglasses, saying stupid shit. If it sounds funny to you, you should check out the video. It's on my personal channel, The Wild Steven, with no spaces. It's called How to Bake a Cake for Non-Bakers.
Yeah, it's a good video.
It's actually really good. Fuck. My chemistry teacher, even though I didn't get any of the hit any of the points we were supposed to for the project, I got 100 with extra credit because it was so fucking funny. While I was presenting the video, Mr. Byrne, my teacher, was sitting in his seat, reeling and wheezing like all the boys do when we're laughing at something really hard, just that. And he was just wheezing in his chair, and he was laughing really hard, and the whole class was laughing, and then the video ended and some cunt was like, "So where's the cake?" And I was like, "I ate it." And then someone else asked me, "How did you get it pre-packaged and on a brownie tray? I mean, and how did it become a brownie?" Because because I got an ultimate brownie cake, threw it in the oven. And I was like, because God fucking loves me, okay? And Mr. Bird didn't hear that because he was laughing too hard. Thank God. Unfortunately?
No, fortunately.
Oh, I was like, yeah, fortunately, Gabe. That's a good thing. Yeah, it was funny. It was good stuff.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
And you need to go check it out. I'll put a link in the description.
Yeah.
Go.
It's a good video.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to check out.
That was hella good. People were coming up to me like all day. Oh, best part, he shared it with every other class he teaches, including classes that were not chemistry. So, yeah. Ever since that class period, I had people coming up to me randomly throughout the day, going, "Hey, I'm back."
They were referencing.
Yeah, they were referencing the video, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, okay, you're back." And I didn't get it till like 6th period when someone was like, "Mr. Bird showed me your video," and I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, he showed it to all his classes. He told everyone you got an A with extra credit." And I was like, "Oh, fuck, yeah, all right, dope." What the fuck am I at? Yeah, it was pretty
really
good.
cool of your teacher.
Yeah, go check that out. Yeah,
good video.
Link in the description to go get it. And yeah, that's basically the whole thing.
Okay, so let's say theoretically that you threw some beef,
Okay.
some flour, some cheese, maybe some sauces, some onion, maybe a tomato or two,
Right.
maybe even, dare say, a pickle. And then you closed it, you waited 30 minutes, because the universal time is 30 minutes. And then you open it, what do you get?
A cake.
A cake, okay.
Nope, no. A normal cake.
A normal cake from
God.
beef flour. Well, yeah, from God, really. That's where it came from. But maybe it looks like a normal cake on the surface, but it has a special filling, and the filling is hamburger.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. It's a hamburger.
Hamburger filling.
Hamburger filling.
Hamburger cake filling. Sounds delicious, honestly. I'd eat it.
Look at this guy. He's stupid.
This dude.
Fucking in his Honda.
As a chick.
Dumbass. Maybe she... Why is my blinker on still? I'm retarded. And that's my first fuck up. I jinxed it.
Damn. Alright.
I knew it. God, man. My left blinker's... I'm gonna blame it on my car. It's sticky.
Yeah.
The right one is not sticky, and it'll turn off just because it wants to. And the left one does not turn off, ever. Yeah.
Alright. Well, I think that's a good place to call it.
That's the podcast. At
That's
Hamburger.
the podcast. At Hamburger, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look,
I
Honda's
agree.
back.
That Honda's back, yeah.
Dumbass.
So, enjoy your hamburgers. Have a good night, everybody.
Check
or
out
good morning.
check out that
Check
cake
out how to
video.
bake a cake for non-bakers. And
Link in the description. Like and subscribe this podcast if you want some more retards and cars. You might get some more retard when the other retards are here.
yeah,
This one was more improvised, probably more professional than the rest of them. And yeah, see you guys
later.